In this series, the growth team at Volley is digging into your consulting sales pages. We're looking at your offers, your bios, your pictures, your videos, and giving you direct feedback as well as providing feedback so that others can take inspiration, improve their offers, and hopefully get more sales. So here's our next consultant.
Next up, we're going to take a look at Jody's profile. She's a writer, editor, publisher, marketing coach, author, coach, instructor, and owner of the Crippled Beagle Publishing. And actually, that's probably a good place to start. Any feedback, Angela or Mitch, on profile picture, subtitle, any of that stuff?
I think it's great to showcase all of the things that you do, but I think that there's also value in keeping that a little more concise. Putting a few things in there, writer, editor, publisher, maybe stop there, or including marketing coach, and then having people continue down, and you can include some of those other details either in your pitch video or in your bio and description for your page.
What is important to the person that's purchasing this offer? Because it might be none of that. It might say 20 years of experience as an author, writer, publisher available to you, or something like that. It doesn't have to strictly be a subtitle as people kind of traditionally think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like this is very much like pulled from LinkedIn, right? It's like, who am I and what do I do? And I've seen it kind of done two ways. And one is like, this is who I am. And the other, sort of the inverse of that, is like, this is what I do for you. And so for some people, it's like you mentioned 20 years of experience doing this thing. And for other people, they'll put like, I help writers get paid to publish their own work, or, something like that. That really is like a value proposition. And I think either one can work here, but I love your point, Angela, of just condensing it. Are you speaking or working mostly with writers, editors, publishers, marketers, like figure out who that core audience is. And that's kind of who I would focus most on in that subtitle. So you guys, let's move on to the video here. We watched it beforehand, so we won't play it for you now, but initial feedback on maybe the thumbnail that's being used, and then we can talk about the contents of the video.
We now allow you to upload a custom thumbnail, which is an opportunity to kind of put your best face forward, but also showcase a little bit more kind of about what you do. And right now, I think the thumbnail totally works. I would consider framing it maybe more similar to how the actual video framing is, and or kind of adding additional graphics or things like that that kind of convey what you do. Maybe hold up one of your books that you have published, or any kind of awards or anything like that that could potentially kind of visually enhance the page.
What aspect ratio and what size does that image need to be when you actually upload it for the thumbnail?
Sure. Any thumbnails that you upload will kind of fill the frame. So if you have a vertical thumbnail, or it's in an aspect ratio that's vertical, it will kind of zoom way in. So just make sure your thumbnails are a 4:3 aspect ratio, the same that you see here in the frame, and it should fill it exactly as you see.
I love the video. First of all, it's concise. It tells people exactly what to do. I think one thing you might consider just updating is kind of the call to action. So I think you said in this video, Jody, something like, you can DM me, or you can choose one of these offers off to the side. And I think from sort of like a Volley perspective, when you're coming to this page, if they're unfamiliar with you, then really the main CTA is to just like pick one of these offers, because that really is how they start a DM with you. Starting that sort of paid direct message. So, and it depends who you're sending to this page, but I might just consider tweaking that call to action at the end. Mitch, thoughts on the bio? I know you've had a chance to look through it already.
What I like about it is that there's not a lack of information. People can dig in as much as they want, or just kind of quickly look at the video, which is really concise, and then choose an offer that makes sense for them. I think there is opportunity to potentially kind of trim and edit things down. But since you do serve a lot of kind of different clientele, it makes sense that you've outlined it in this way. And actually, a lot of people that do serve multiple audiences, we're finding are structuring their bios / descriptions in this way, where they talk about all of the different services that they can provide, and then just having different time blocks like Jody has here for different offers that they can purchase. So that's actually a nice little way that she's structured that.
If you want to have a little bit of a shorter bio, you could consider including more of those details in your pitch video, and sometimes being able to speak some of those things instead of trying to convey it through text. It adds a little personality and allows you to elaborate a little bit more.
Maybe because it's lunchtime, but I'm reminded of In-N-Out. Like the In-N-Out principle is that like you can have anything you want at In-N-Out as long as it's a hamburger, fries, and a drink. Like they literally only have like almost 3 things on their menu. They have 3 combos and that's it. And this is maybe true of the offers as well. The less sort of decisions your buyer has to make, the more likely they are to convert. So one potential opportunity here is, instead of focusing on like, I work with writers, I work with editors, maybe there's a common thread that you do with each one of these people. And it's like, I help you get clarity on your work and scale it, or something like that is a common thread, and will help you kind of condense all of this information into like one specific value prop and a few offers, instead of, here there's like 8 or so offers on this list.
If you scroll down, you'll see that a lot of them are just kind of ask me anythings or AMAs, which again, I think might be the purpose of this. Here's all the services I do. Ask me any questions about that. But one thing to consider is that puts a lot of kind of the onus on the actual person purchasing the offer. If it's on them to kind of drive this forward and get all the value out of it, that might be kind of intimidating to them. So as much as you can kind of reassure them that you'll be walking them through a process, or even giving them kind of initial first steps, either in the description itself or in your welcome prompt, I think that will reassure them and let them know that, okay, it's not just me asking questions, like she's going to actually be guiding me.
When you are added with a consultant or expert into this, Volley DM, as soon as you run out of time, you're prompted to expand, upgrade, and basically purchase more time from them. So that's, one thing about this is you have these Ask Me Anything different times. You could just have, 15-minute block of Ask Me Anything, and someone could very easily talk to you for 15 minutes, do the upgrade, get 15 more minutes, and keep going like that. And so you don't necessarily need a bunch of different offers. It's just, hey, in this one, we're going to talk about any questions that you might have. And, like Mitch said, providing a little bit of direction as to how that conversation is going to go. That way you can have fewer stuff here and hopefully improve conversion along the way.
Yeah. And if you are choosing to have multiple kind of levels or time blocks, either make sure that you are discounting and incentivizing them to buy more time. So for instance, if you had 30 minutes for $30, your hour block should not just be $60, it should be $50. So you're pushing people towards those other offers. And if you do that, make sure that you're using the promo text to even highlight that, 10% discount or 50% discount. Things like that are good opportunities as well.
And I think she did a great job kind of outlining all of her offers and making sure she's providing information right at the top in those first 4 lines that people are going to see of what they're going to get out of that offer. And like you said, utilizing the different headlines and things like that too. I think she did a really nice job putting her offers together.
This has been great. Any other feedback overall on her profile? I thought Jody did a great job putting this together and has all the pieces for a really high converting profile.
Yeah. One last note that I will say is that second offer, the prize winner, 60 minutes of coaching, you can actually unlist offers. So if you go into your offer settings, you can unlist it. That way you can retrieve the private link to that specific offer and share that. So it looks like for this specific offer, you wouldn't want other people stumbling across this and buying 60 minutes for $1. But I love that you're doing kind of creative promotions like this to bring people in, start to gather testimonials, early feedback, to then kind of share and promote your offers and your experience, but also just get practice and reps.
Yeah, when I saw that this morning, I was like, man, I'd love to have a writer, editor, coach, grammar guru on the fly in my pocket for $1 for 60 minutes. That could go a long way with some of the stuff I'm working on.
I know, we should have entered the giveaway.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Jody. We really appreciate it. And, like the other reviews that we've done on here, once you finish making these updates, feel free to send us the link. We're happy to provide any other feedback, additional guidance that we can. Feel free to share it with your audience. And if you're listening to this or watching this, we would love to have you submit your Consult With Me page to get feedback on it later this week or next.